All right, the Knicks catch an L. Miami 115-113. There are some positives to take from this game. There are some negatives to take from this game. But overall, the Knicks are still winless on the road going into a game against Miami tonight where they didn't have Jalen Brunson, where they didn't have OG Anunoby. You needed big-time performances from Deuce McBride and Mikal Bridges and Karl-Anthony Towns, and you kind of got that for the most part from Deuce and from Mikal. Cat left more to be desired, but at the end of the day, the Knicks comeback falls short against Miami Heat, and they are still winless on the road. Now, overall, again, I say this all the time, don't want to judge the Knicks game to game. You want to take it, especially in the beginning of the season, about 10 games at a time, right? Where are we after 10 games? Where are we after 20 games? Where are we after 30 games? And now, when you add the context of OG Anunoby and Jalen Brunson missing games, and Mike Brown still trying to figure out this rotation, and a new offense, and a new system, I still like where the Knicks are at. Now, it doesn't mean we can't be disappointed with the loss. You go into Miami, they are missing Bam Adebayo, they're missing Tyler Hero, so this is a team that is also shorthanded. Let's be honest with each other. This is not a full Miami squad. They are also missing their two best players, so this was more of a battle of attrition. Deuce McBride, first of all, comes in, fantastic game. You can say whatever you want about the last shot, him taking a floater with his left hand in the lane. I know Clyde had a problem with it, but when you are shooting as well as he did during the game, when he hit 2 threes in the fourth quarter to bring us back from down double digits late in the fourth quarter, I'm not mad at it particularly. The thing with Deuce, though, for me, and this is where you miss Jalen, and this is why a lot of people were advocating for Malcolm Brogdon or maybe even Tyler Cole to get some minutes, is you kind of miss having a real point guard out there. Deuce is more of a two-guard. 0 assist from the guy who's starting at point guard. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be a creator all the time. You know, Deuce's strengths are spot-up shooting, hitting three-pointers, and now he's developed a bag where he can get into the lane and score the basketball. He's explosive. You saw him dunk on Jaime Jaquez on the break. However, this is where we're going to miss Jalen Brunson, and this is where the Knicks honestly are going to have to fill some type of hole going forward. I don't know if it's with the trade deadline or I don't know if the answer's on the roster, but they're going to need somebody who's going to run some type of offense in the half-court situation during the games when games get tight and Jalen's out. To me, that was a huge problem, especially when Josh is having a game that he had. Now, Josh has been playing well since he came back from injury after a slow start, but didn't have his stuff today. Turnovers, just wasn't the good Josh Hart that we've known, that we've grown to love, that has been playing well throughout the year. You know, there was no one to kind of step in and steer the ship. Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson goes out, you're supposed to be the man. Today, he struggled. Didn't really shoot the three well. Now, he hit that 1-3 that was huge. That could have been instrumental in the comeback. But aside from that, not getting what you want from Karl-Anthony Towns. Now, I'm not going to kill him. A lot of Knicks fans are killing him here, saying you can't win with him as your second best player, saying that he's soft, all that good stuff. Sometimes you just don't have it. And today, I think Karl didn't have it. I think the effort has been there. You know, I would like to see him shoot better threes. I would like to see him be more tough inside the paint. You know, at the end of the game there, the refs weren't calling anything. I think that's the reason why he took the last shot the way he did. Getting the ball, shooting a step-back fadeaway on the baseline. Didn't go in. I can live with that. That's fine. Now, if throughout the rest of the season, you know, he's playing soft, that's an issue. But it's just one game in Miami without Jalen Brunson on the road. It's a difficult situation. Shout out to Mikal Bridges. I thought he had a great game for the most part. Kind of disappeared there in the fourth, but Mikal looks so much more comfortable with Mike Brown, and I think that's the takeaway here, right? Again, we can take away single things from today's game, and that's fine. I don't mind that. But at the end of the day, we're trying to win a championship. So for me, it's how do these players look in long term, right? Josh didn't have a good game. But I'm not worried about Josh. Why? Because Josh has been playing really well. Cat didn't have a great game. Why? Well, you can think of different reasons, but for the most part, Cat has been playing better, especially with Jalen on the floor and OG on the floor. Well, a story for this season is Mikal Bridges having a fantastic year. Now, he disappeared a little bit in the fourth. That's fine. But he seems to be more and more comfortable with Mike Brown and the offense. So for me, I'm going to take a positive away from that. Now, one frustrating thing for me is Mitchell Robinson's minutes restriction. How can we continue to navigate Mitch's injury concerns and be a consistent defense or a consistent team? It's fantastic when he's on the floor because he's one of the better defenders in the league. And he genuinely, I'm not even kidding when I say this, he might be the best offensive rebounder I've ever seen in my life. I mean, every time the Knicks miss, I saw a stat saying that 30% of Knicks misses are rebounded by Mitchell Robinson, which is an insane stat. I mean, he's just unbelievable. But at some point, we're going to have to get him in the lineup consistently. Now, is he going to play next game? Who knows? I have no idea. But the Knicks are going to have to get used to having him in the lineup. And Mike Brown's going to have to get some type of consistent playing time for him so we know what this team looks like. Love Mitch. Love his game. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Landry Shamet, 1 for 7. Didn't really shoot well from 3. 2 for 11 from the floor. After a career night in Miami, he comes back down to earth, and this is why he was on, the free agency wire for as long as he was. He's just not consistent. Now, I still think he's a fantastic addition, but there's a reason why, he signed for a vet minimum. It's just inconsistent play like this, so I'm not going to get mad at that. At the end of the day, Knicks lose a game that was winnable. They showed a lot of grit. They showed a lot of grind coming back from a double-digit deficit in the fourth quarter, almost stealing one in Miami, and for that, it's okay. They didn't lay down. They showed fight. They were undermanned on the road in an environment that has been kind to them the past few years. We'll take it. It's okay. It's fine. I'm not too worried about it. Just hoping that OG Anunoby and Jalen Brunson come back soon because we are definitely going to need them now. Their next game is Wednesday at Dallas. This is a game that I think the Knicks could win without Jalen and without OG as well. Now, obviously, OG's going to be out. Jalen's day-to-day. He's traveled with the team. He has a hurt ankle. For me, personally, I hope he stays out for a couple more games. Do not want to risk it with Jalen Brunson. The goal for this road trip, a 5-game road trip, was to go 3-2 heading back to the Garden. 3-2 road trip, that's fine. You're going to lose a couple games here and there, especially when you're missing your 2 best players, but that's okay. You go to a Dallas team that is shorthanded. They're missing Anthony Davis, missing Kyrie Irving. They're young. They don't really have a go-to player there. This should be a W, regardless of whether or not Jalen Brunson or OG Anunoby play. So this is a game on the schedule. I'm thinking the Knicks should win. Hopefully they do win. I think Jalen should rest. I don't see a reason why you trot him out there this early into the season. It's game 14. Outside of the Pistons, nobody's separating themselves in the standings. This is not something that's going to get away from you. So hopefully this is a get-right game for the New York Knicks on Wednesday against the Dallas Mavericks. I think it will be. I think Cat's going to play better. If he comes back, has a comeback game, I'm not going to be worried about him. Same thing with Josh. Josh was off today, but he'll be fine, right? Again, you want to take things in increments. You don't want to take things one game at a time. It's going to drive you crazy. Overall, the team is trending up, and that's fine. 6-2 in the last 8, trending up. That's it. That's how I look at it. All right. Now, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Going to answer your questions in the comment section. Leave a comment. What do you think about the Knicks next game against Dallas? What do you think went wrong against Miami? What did I miss? All that good stuff. Subscribe. We're trying to build a whole community here of Knicks fans at Knicks Latest to talk everything New York Knicks basketball. Be objective. You can criticize the team. That's fine. As long as you're rooting for the team, that's all I really care about. And as long as you try to stay positive at the end of the day, that's all I really care about. So hit that subscribe button. I'll see you tomorrow for a preview of Knicks Dallas on Knicks Latest. Peace.